Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad ain't pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, I make pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more.
Okay, Coach, historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone. This time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. This is caught, and they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. From the gun, here's Cousins. That's caught at the 3. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Vikings 7, Packers 0.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he'll find Hall. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Watch your mic. Check 24. Yeah, Liz.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, and he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a 1st down. And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Come on.
Rodgers going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
And he better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 19-yard line.
It's our time. It's our time. Yo. Hey, check my 50.
Now Cousins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Give the sack to Blake Martinez.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An excellent return that time. 26 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Linval Joseph able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fade.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Rodgers. Caught. Severian Jenkins, right side. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And wow, the fair catch was signaled for and taken inside the 5-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 13-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Cousins gives way to Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Yellow.
Cousins from the gun on third. And that is incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go again. Check 9, check 9. Over. Kelly, don't let Kelly.
Now it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Shotgun now for Rodgers. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on 3rd down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball, at least.
Stephon Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now 14-0.
Vikings 14, Packers nothing. And Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Packers on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10.
26.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. He sets to fire deep and unable to connect. Incomplete. Give him credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And now out comes Minnesota. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Returnable for Grant. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check the out, check the out, check the out.
Throwing is Rodgers. Steps away to his left. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to 1st.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there. I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Corey Grant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. Crosby with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final play of the half, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the 2nd half. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The 2nd half starts with a carry by Jones. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting. And even better execution. Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, I'm coming.
Operating from the gun, Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he'll be out right at the 35.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. The offense on 3rd down tonight, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Here's Rodgers to throw. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another 1st down.
And the Packers, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Rodgers now on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Hey, we're good, we're good. Black. Check this down.
Following the interception, Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field.
To throw is Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
We take a win. Let's 50. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Alert flag. Two. Turn it up. Hey, exit.
Cousins on first down. Over the middle to Smith. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run the counter with Cook. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Let's go. You tighten up. Hey, receiver. 24's the mark. Hey, I-7.
Now on 2nd and 16. Cousins. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Check, Mike 42. Hey, here we go.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. Throwing, Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. And the ball is knocked out, and the Packers pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll run for it with Cook. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
3rd and goal for Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Darnell Savage, the rookie from Maryland. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career. And he's going to need another one right now. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers, they're going to set up the screen here. This is Grant. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
The Packers on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And this is going to depend on his spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Kaiser going to try the sneak. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Now a give right side. It's Grant. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
With 18. Eat. On the ball. Hey, take 26.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
You gonna see me in your nightmare.
They'll try the right side with Jones. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll go again to Jones. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
There's a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Grant. And he is going to lose yardage here. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
And Anthony Barr just has it all as far as I'm concerned in terms of physique, athletic ability, and now he's versatile as well. When he came out of UCLA, he played outside linebacker, but also down defensive end. The Vikings can utilize those same sort of skills.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards the pickup there.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
Rodgers now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10.
Check 30.
55. Check 55.
Rodgers to throw. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Watch that in, cut it right. Hey, 88. Look again.
Back to throw, Rodgers. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Safarian-Jenkins. 3rd down here. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
You better jump out. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring.
55, my God, 55.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. Touchdown, Packers. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Gun.
Hey, 50 to the flag.
Hey, foxtrot.
Mike 50, Mike 50.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll have a first down past the 40. The left side caught by Diggs. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Gun.
Here's Cousins. He's going to walk one deep left side here. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Cousins. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. We talk about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
The throw left side complete to Treadwell. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down. Cousins now, eluding the pressure right. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. Oh, no, he lost the football. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So it all comes down to the foot of Dan Bailey. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And off the crossbar, and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or 2, but it's no good as it stands. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And that'll carry over the back line. Out of the end zone for a touchback. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. He wasn't able to really get anything going in regulation. Maybe it'll be a little different story here in overtime.
And it appears that with that call, they want to establish the run in overtime, try and set the tone for what they're going to get done. And you're right, maybe it didn't work so well in regulation. Overtime could be the charm. And by the way, yards count either way.
Jones. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
49, check 49. Go to 50. Go to 50.
First throw of overtime for Rodgers. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Get that ball. Hey, watch it, watch it.
Back one.
Mike, 55. Check, 55.
This is Grant. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And he'll find Hall. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a 1st down. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Jones. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Opening drive of overtime, and now facing a 3rd down and 6. Big play coming up. From the gun, it's Rodgers. That's complete to his running back, Grant. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. Give him 6 yards in the 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. The Packers on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. The give is to Jones. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. And Crosby missed it. No good. Wide to the left for Crosby. And that changes everything here in OT. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 34. The first throw in overtime now for Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Drama, drama, drama. We saw all of it in this one. Overtime all the way to the end of OT. The long field goal shot to win it, but they couldn't convert.
And because it's the regular season, we don't play more bonus football. We don't go to another period. It ended right there. You get one in overtime to get it done. Look, let's face it. That field goal attempt was a long shot to begin with. No pun intended, or maybe pun intended. But it doesn't go through, and it ends in a tie.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.
Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist. I get the money, but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom, and now we is lit. You was lit.